Santa Anna was the dictator, but everything I'm reading says that there was another president. How exactly? Because my understanding is that there was they'd alternate the president, but what exactly was Santa Anna's role versus the president in Mexico City?
That's a very good question. It's very confusing. Okay, Santa Anna got elected president. Okay, so he was president of Mexico, but as he often did, he didn't like all the politics, and he would just appoint a temporary president to take his place, and he would go back to his hacienda. Okay, until they needed him for a war or a battle. So technically, he was president, but he appointed a interim president, and his name was Barragan. And great news for the Texans. Barragan, just at the time that the Alamo fell, he died, and the Mexican Congress appointed a new interim government whose name was Justo Caro, and he was not a follower of Santa Anna. So Santa Anna was all worried about the politics in Mexico. When the Alamo fell on March 6th, Santa Anna didn't even leave San Antonio till March 31st. He was tied up, worried about. He was checking out what was going on in Mexico. He wasn't worried about Sam Houston. He was worried about politics in Mexico. And he got all tied up into that. So it took him forever to actually start chasing down Houston. So we had an interim president in Mexico. Santa Anna technically was president, the elected president, but he was commander in chief. But he was still calling all the shots. But it's hard to call the shots from hundreds of miles away.
Right. I think yeah, I've read that where he campaigned as a Federalist, and then he would let someone do the job for him while he went to his ranch, and then the interim president would act like a centralist, and then he'd come in to kind of rescue the Mexican country, and so that makes sense that that's how it
Well,
worked.
that his first vice president was Gomez Farias, and he was very liberal,
Uh,
and he was a Federalist, just like Santa Anna was. But then Santa Anna flipped sides. He decided that the Mexican people were not capable of electing good officials, so he lost trust in the people to elect the right people. So he became a centralist and threw out all the Federalists. He threw out his own vice president. He limited the militias. He basically shut down the state governments. He just did 180 degrees, and that's what shocked the Texans so much. The Texans were pro Santa Anna till he switched sides.